Hi, everybody. Topic 3.3, we're going to talk about communicating with families. And families, a family can be something different to each one of us. So, this is a nice little quote. I woke up one morning thinking about wolves and realized that wolf packs function as families. Everyone has a role, and if you act within the parameters of your role, the whole pack succeeds. And when that falls apart, so does the pack. And it's really appropriate to families. So what is a family? There's actually no universal definition, but there are different types of definitions for family. So there's structural definitions, task-oriented definitions, and transactional definitions. So a structural definition, it defines a family by form. So who's in the family? Who's not in the family? A group of two or more, one of whom is a householder, related by birth, marriage, or adoption, and residing together. But there are different types of structural families. So family of origin, family into which one is born. Family of orientation, so the family one chooses. A nuclear family, so two heterosexual parents and one or more children. A binuclear family, original nuclear family split with divorce. A single parent family, step families. Cohabitating family, so two people of the opposite sex living together as a couple without the legal contract of marriage. Child-free family, married couple who chose not to have kids. Extended family, family groups that include other relatives like grandparents or aunts and uncles. And gay lesbian family, so same-sex partners living together, may or may not have children, and may or may not be married. So there really is so many different types of families. And each one is considered a family and has to be treated as such. So the pictures depict different families. So task-orientation definition. So focus on how family members function or on the task they perform. A social unit that accepts responsibility for the socialization, and nurturance of children. Emphasis is on socialization and nurturance of all members. A transactional definition focuses on the importance of communication among individuals and the subjective feelings generated by interaction. So it's a unit of interacting personalities. Very, very important. But there are current trends in family units. So family size trends, marriage trends, death, divorce, and remarriage trends. Let's have a look at those. So birth rates have decreased since the baby boomer generation. And for those of you that don't know what a baby boomer generation, it's any person who was born between 1946 and 1964. This generation actually makes up a huge portion of the North American population. After the end of World War II, birth rates across the world spiked, and these children are now known as baby boomers. Fewer people choosing to have kids. Economic implications of raising kids. It costs about $222,000 to raise a child in today's economy. And this figure does not include the cost of college. More parents are living with adult children, and approximately 31% of adult children age 18 to 34 still live at home with parents. This number rose drastically in recent years because of the economic recession the world is facing. Marriage trends, delayed marriages, more cohabitating couples. So many people are now not getting married well into their 30s. And may not ever be getting married. Death, divorce, and remarriage trends. Higher life expectancy for both sexes. In Canada in 1920, the life expectancy of a man was 59 and a woman was 61. Now in 2009, a man is 79 and a woman is 83. So they've drastically gone up quite a bit. Higher divorce rates. In 1920, the Canadian divorce rate hovered about 12%. Currently, it fluctuates between 35 and 42. Almost half of all marriages are remarriages. Divorce and remarriage restructures families, cannot cling to the nuclear family as a permanent thing. And single parent family rates have increased as well. So how is health influenced by family? Well, marital interactions can affect physical health can be affected by family. So relationship status, relationship quality, relationship behaviors and interactions will affect the health of the individuals. So relationship status, divorced people have higher rates of chronic illness, partial work disability, hospitalization rates, longer stays, poor immune function, and higher mortality rates. They are generally not as happy. And this is more so for men. possibly because healthier people get married or because married couples receive protection to buffer health. They have less risky behaviors, more support. Generally, they're just happier. Relationship quality. Self-silenced partners or those people that feel they are not comfortable enough expressing their own opinions in a relationship are more likely to die earlier. Men with work-stressed lives were more likely to get coronary artery disease. So relationship quality can affect relationship behaviors, interactions. Positive social control. Remind each other of health-related behaviors. Example, doctor's appointments. Don't know about your relationships, but I'm frequently making my husband's doctor appointments. Negative social control, nagging. Jointly encouraging poor health habits. The buying the junk food. Negative interactions leading to risky habits like drinking. Hostile, negative, controlling behaviors during problem solving increases stress hormones and decreases immune function. The more stress our body is under, the more chance our immune system is down. Illness in one may cause illness in the other. Caregiver strain. How true is that? Childhood illness in the family system. So parents and siblings take on a greater caregiver role when there's a sick child in the family. Other children tend to get less attention. There's less opportunities to do things to maintain a marriage. Parents are more focused on the child, which, is the right thing to do, but it does put a strain on the marriage. Family conflict can cause physical symptoms in other children, headaches and stomach aches. When there's a sick child in the family, all family members end up taking on more of a caretaker role. And this kind of restricts their leisure activities. You don't have as much fun. You're so busy taking care of this child. And the welfare of that child becomes a dominant theme in the family. The challenge is, balancing family life. So there are family strengths that families can draw upon to help them get through these instances in their life. But a prerequisite for doing that is a core belief in the capacity to grow and flourish. The family has to believe that they're strong enough to get through it. They have to be resilient and cope with adversity. So different types of family strengths: nurturing relationships, establishing routines, maintaining expectations, adapting to challenge, connecting to community. All of these things will help a family be strong. So nurturing relationships. Positive communication. Family members listen attentively and speak in respectful ways to each other. Affection. Family members regularly show warmth to each other. They like being around each other. Emotional openness. They can be themselves. They're comfortable sharing their feelings. They're not going to be shamed. And support for sparks. So family members encourage each other in pursuing their talents and interests. Maintaining that spark that keeps them going, their passion. Establishing routines helps family strength. So have family meals. It's important that families eat together. Shared activities. Spend time together. Doing everyday activities. Meaningful traditions. Holidays and rituals. They're all celebrations of family life. Dependability. No, you have to know that the family member is there to support you. Maintaining expectations. So openness about tough topics. Family members openly discuss sensitive issues such as sex and substance abuse. Fair rules. Family rules and consequences are reasonable. Define boundaries. The family sets limits on what young people can do and how they spend their time. Communication is so key to having all of these in place. So you want to have your children be able to talk to you, and you want to be able to talk to your children. Clear expectations. You openly articulate your expectations for all family members, not just the young people. Contribution to families. Family members help meet each other's needs and share in getting things done. Everybody has a responsibility in the family to fulfill a certain role. Adapting to challenge. So management of daily commitments. Family members effectively navigate competing activities and expectations at home, school, and work. Some of you who are married right now and in school and working and have a family, how do you do that? How do you manage your daily commitments? But doing that makes you a stronger family unit. Adaptability. The family adapts well when faced with challenges. Problem solving. You work together to solve problems and deal with challenges. You're stronger as a unit than individually. Democratic decision making. Everybody has a say in decisions that affect the family. I think there's some days my children would have liked to have had more of a say, but it just didn't happen sometimes, depending on the severity. Sorry, I think I skipped a slide here. Connecting to community. So neighborhood cohesion. Neighbors look out for one another. It's all, I really like the saying, and I don't get it right verbatim, but a community raises a child, and I really firmly believe that. Relationships with others. Family members feel close to teachers, coaches, and others in the community. Enriching activities. Family members participate in programs and activities that deepen their lives. And supportive resources. You know, you reach out to the community where the resources are to help you. So how do we promote communication in families? Well, you got to assess family role relationships. Who makes the decisions? And if you just sit back and watch a family interact and have a conversation, you'll actually get to pick out, you know, who's talking to who's listening to who, what children are interacting. Are they listening to each other? Are they rolling their eyes? There's so many nonverbal cues that you can watch and pick up on when you're watching a family communicate. And you can see who interacts with who more. Remember that individual family members may have different perspectives on problems, and provide and assist family members in providing validation. And how do we validate? So there's different forms and levels of validation, but you need to be present. You need to provide full attention, unbiased, non-judgmental listening and observing. Make great eye contact. You know, that open body language. You want to be interested. Accurate reflection. You know, be open to correction if you got it wrong. So paraphrase what they said. So what you're saying is, or what I am hearing is. So make it about you, what you're hearing. Articulating what is not verbalized. So, you know, those articulating non-verbalized emotions, thought, or behavior. It's not necessary to be correct in your guess. Be open to being correct if you're wrong, but you need to actually validate what you're seeing. So it sounds like you might be feeling, you know, get them to fill in the words if you're incorrect. Validation in terms of past history and biology. Given what happened to you, you know, you can say, I completely understand. Or given your experience last time, I understand why you perhaps did what you did this time. Validate in terms of present context or normative function. So things like, yes, most people feel sad at this time. So if someone is recently separated, it's normal to feel sad or go through, you know, the grieving process. Radical genuineness. So when you understand the emotion someone's feeling on a very deep level, maybe you've had a similar experience. Radical genuineness is sharing that experience as equals. So when you say it, mean it. Tips to making validation easier. Stop, listen, observe, stay focused in the moment. When feeling emotional, take a moment. Other people's emotions are about them, not you. So don't take on those emotions if at all possible. Ask questions, listen without judgment. Look for that kernel of truth, that one little gold beacon that's sticking out. Respond to the feelings, not words. Reflect on the feelings with judgment. Try different methods of validation. So experiment with different forms of validation. See what's more effective in any given situation. And be mindful of your nonverbal communication, because you could be validating or invalidating what they're saying by what you're doing. Remember, if your nonverbal communication doesn't match your verbal communication, you're not believable. Anyway, that is the end of topic 3.3.